morning, birds. I'm starting to develop a real taste for spending my first hour or so outside, soaking up the sun. Hello, guys. Hello. What it do? Hi, hi, hi. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. What it do? What it do? What it do indeed. What's up, Paul? Gotta say, I agree with you on the BBC elk. The true threat to our I don't know if it's like the only or the true threat to our democracy, but I think it is something that should probably be examined outside of the jokes I make about it. I joke about not wanting Brits over here reading our news, but if you think about it, it really is a problem. It just like furthers the disconnect between the people and the news media. It enhances the scripted nature of news by, pulling someone over who, you know, isn't as affected on a lifetime scale by the fucking politics of America and puts them in front of Americans to tell Americans what to think about their news. Like, people say that it's not a big deal, but wouldn't be tolerated the other way around. I mean, your tree looks nice and green. It's still got snow here. Yeah, dude. Tree is nice and green. It's definitely spring for sure. What's your opinion on people who have to hide behind their views behind 6 layers of memes and irony? Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that um I have quite a few hopes for the next couple of generations of people, but one of my biggest hopes is that you know, directness, bluntness and thoughtfulness will be valued again. You know what I mean? Um for some reason this generation seems to really, really think it's hilarious and great when people hold one position privately and one position publicly. And the public position exists specifically to try and neutralize the criticism of the real position. It's just a sad way to have to go about things, especially in a country that values itself on freedom of speech. But once again, there are people trying to push ideas that are just straight up not palatable to normal human beings. So, America dominates the media in most capacities and we tolerate it because it doesn't matter. I mean, if that's what you want to think. If you want to think it doesn't matter, then go right ahead and think it doesn't matter. I'll be over here in the group of people that knows that it does matter. I remember having some dude defend Soy Boy by saying it was meme magic and literally a 3 paragraph graph long rant. I lost. Yeah, I don't need. Whatever, dude. It's meme magic. Just got done making a tool bracket. Would love to see your take on it. If I send it over your way, would you? Yeah, it won't be possible for me to do it on this one, but the next time I'm upstairs, just remind me. Just tweet it to me or something. Holy crap. Are you wearing bright colors for once? Do I not wear bright colors? I guess I do have a lot of black shirts and stuff, huh? Wonder how much increasing internet speeds will make information more difficult to control. Where are the internet speeds increasing? Not here. Portly Paul sucking on his vape for the camera as a tool of social advancement? Moppy Puppy, what's wrong with you, dude? Show me on the doll where you were touched. What's your opinion on nearly everybody in the mainstream media wanting Trump to attack Syria? I mean, of course they do. Like, oh man. If you take a step back, you can see how interconnected all these things are that we kind of think are at odds with one another. The news media, the Congress, the House of Representatives, the Office of the President, the states and the federal government, corporations and the federal government. Like, all these things that we're told have their own interests really all make out from the same fucking shit. They all get rich in the same dime. War is good for all of them. You know, war is good for a politician's career. It's good for a media personality's career. It's good for a corporate mogul's career. So, I mean, maybe that answers your question. War is peace. War is peace. Truth is falsehood. Paul was too porcine to be in a pool. Dude, Moppy Puppy, why don't you talk to me? Why don't you talk to me, Moppy Puppy? Why don't you tell me why you're so mad? Well, look, everyone, it's definitely the real vigilant Christian in here. Oh, yeah, dude, definitely. We need to take back our gov with our guns. A pen is mightier than a sword, but the sword is necessary for when the government tried to take your pen. Why don't you learn to write first? Like, why don't you pick up the pen and learn to write first? I know you're kidding, but people, you post a meme like that, but there are people out there actually making that argument. I've heard that argument from people. Variations of that argument to defend the necessity of there being more guns in the United States than there are people by a factor of 2. Are you guys ready to overthrow the biggest military in human history with our AKs? Dude, that's not even going to be mostly AKs, mostly handguns and shit. Ready to grab your Glock and run out into the streets and fight the fucking armored personnel carriers and unmanned Hellfire drones and the best trained, deadliest military in the history of the fucking world? Yeah, that's going to happen. So stupid. I just, I know I fucking harp on it a lot, but it really is such a dumb argument. I think the reason that I harp on it so much is because it's on the face of it, it's so stupid. that I can't believe adults actually, well, just in case the government needs overthrowing. I'm just like, when's that gonna be? You know, what are you guys waiting for? No privacy, no rights to fucking freely associate, like obvious data gathering, obvious use of private utilities for public spying, constant wars on false pretenses, constant extractions of trillions of dollars from the global economy to feed the rich elite. What are you waiting for? What's the holdup, freedom warriors? Kind of seems like that's just a bullshit excuse to have a bunch of guns, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like I said, on the face of it, I don't have a problem with the idea of people having a bunch of fucking guns. As long as they know how to take care of them, as long as they're reasonably safe with them, as long as they agree to the social compact that owning a gun is a fucking great responsibility and that you got to handle it properly and store it properly and all that shit. I'm fine with it. Move on? Okay. There you go, buddy. I moved on forever for you. Those same people that claim they love America and the troops, yeah, it is kind of weird. It's not something you think about, but yeah, it's like the same group of people are like, you know, proud to be in troop worship, you know what I mean? But yet, one of their political positions is that they're ready at any moment to go kill a bunch of troops. You think pro-troop people would be less apt to send them off to die for stupid reasons? Yeah, you'd think pro-life people would be less apt to allow children to rot in orphanages and shit as well. But, you know, life only matters when it's in the womb. As soon as it's out of the womb, who gives a shit? You know, all of these super conservative social positions and political positions are typically at the very core of themselves, like self-refuting. And yet they're grown-ass adults going to fucking college for 8 years, you know what I mean, getting doctorates and shit in this kind of thought, you know, and it's just self-refuting thought. Whatever. I love guns too. I have a half dozen of them, but I would never claim my Mossberg 500 could help take down a tyrannical government. That's what my handgun is for. Exactly, dude. Imagine a bunch of soccer moms with their purse pistols filing out into the streets to fight the government. Holy fuck, man. Holy fuck. Would you go to war if drafted, or would you go to jail as an objector? I would sooner fucking rot in a solitary confinement prison cell for the rest of my life, where once a day a train of fucking nasty inmates comes in and butt rapes me, than spend 1 second pulling the trigger for this stupid fucking government. What if your role was entertaining troops with rambling? I mean, I can do that as a civilian. I'm not doing anything for the fucking military. I'm not interested. Not interested in that line of work. I live close to an air base, so if there's a war, I will be killed by a nuke. If there's a nuclear war and you live near an air base, you will be one of the luckiest people on the planet. Playing devil's advocate here, as we saw on 9/11 and the OKC bombing, all it takes is one well-thought plan and a surprise attack to cripple the government for a decent amount of time. Ground war is a loss, though. The government wasn't crippled by any of that. The government never missed a beat during that. As soon as those attacks started happening, the government started planning their response. You know, like these giant shows of force have a much larger effect on the actual general populace. They are the people that die in these attacks. They are the people whose families are destroyed forever by these attacks. They're the people that have an investment in the jobs and infrastructure that's destroyed by these attacks. No. Terrorism like that, blowing up a building and shit, does not hurt the government. In fact, it helps this government. If you don't see that those types of attacks, 9/11, the Oklahoma City bombing, all of these fucking school shootings and shit, if you don't see that that helps, that kind of unrest helps the government when their, you know, objective is to take away civil liberties, to infringe civil rights, to take away your right to privacy, to take away your right to freely speak, to freely associate. Yeah. Terrorist attacks do nothing but help the military-industrial complex. Do nothing but help these tick fucking politicians that are dug in so deep we can't pull them out. You know, it's not an option, guys. It's not an option. What if there was an enemy destroying America and taking over? Would you still object? What are you talking about? You're gonna have to be more specific, dude. Tell me what enemy could take over America. Go. Go. I'll wait. Like, you know, loaded fucking vague questions, dude. China and Russia working together could not invade and take over this country. Wouldn't happen. Couldn't happen. They would lose more troops transporting the troops to land them on our shores than they would in the ensuing shitty-ass, weak-ass 15-minute firefight when they actually landed. You don't understand, like, if there's an invasion going on, we're going to know it. We're going to know where the troop transports are, and we're going to blow them up. We're going to blow them out of the sky, blow them out of the fucking water. Like, just think about trying to land troops on mainland United States soil. Think about it. Like, that's just not it's not a fucking option, dude. Not currently. Like, maybe eventually America's geopolitical position will be weak enough to where something like that would be plausible, but not in my lifetime. So why are we talking about it? Yeah, you don't understand. Like, say one thing you want about America, but our fucking military is overfunded and huge and super well trained and top of the line in most aspects. It's just not going to happen, guys. Bombarded with bombs would be their best chance. I mean, like, we've got probably the world's best defense system for that type of eventuality. You know what I mean? Like, we're the hardest target in the world for that type of bullshit. It's not going to happen, guys. How would you defend yourself if 3 armed men kicked in your door and tried to hurt Ashley and yourself? I'd do my best. I mean, how would you defend yourself? You have your gun in your hand ready at every fucking moment? Say they kick in your front door and 10 seconds later they're in your room. You got your gun ready? You awake enough to point it and shoot it? It's just fucking retarded. In a holster, yes. You sleep with a holster? All right, Bobby. Get the fuck out of here, faggot. Stupid. War nowadays between any of those 3 countries would never involve troops. They would sooner turn each other into a radioactive parking lot than engage in a ground war. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but I just know that it is in the best interests of none of the 3 countries that we're talking about to engage in such a war. I sleep with my gun in my hands, right underneath my head, with my finger on the trigger. Yep. Gun nuts all think they're John Wayne. Yeah. Yeah. That really is what I think is at the root of a lot of gun culture, is feeling powerful. Even if you're really not, you feel powerful. You know, even if you're a reckless shitheel and having a gun really makes you nothing but dangerous to yourself and others, that that feeling of being able to, let off a few rounds and clear the block. I remember there's a documentary made by Stacy Peralta called Crips and Bloods Made in America, and it talks about the underlying causes of gang violence, the beginnings of street gangs and stuff, what they used to represent, what they represent now, how things got so out of control. And there's lots of interviews with current and former gang members on both sides of that conflict. And one of them gives a talk about, when you're 14 years old and you're standing in the middle of the street with the pistol smoking and you just let off a few rounds into the air. You're standing there, you're alone, the dogs, the birds, the fucking crickets have all shut the fuck up. You cleared the block. And there's absolutely no feeling like that. There's no feeling like that. Being 14 years old, standing in the middle of your fucking neighborhood, hot smoking pistol in your hand, and not a single fucking person makes a peep. Not an animal, not a fucking city dump truck. You cleared the block. That's how he puts it. And I think that mentality is behind a lot of gun fetishism. Did you chill with more norteños or sureños? The only, like, I didn't chill with either of those gangs. I had a friend whose brother was a norteño, so I guess I probably spent more time chilling around norteños than sureños, but I wasn't exactly choosing sides in that little debate. Are you on the square? Are you on the level? Are you ready to stand right here, right now, before the devil? What if the gorilla busts down your door, Bobby? Yeah, what are you gonna do if a gorilla, or heaven forbid, a team of coordinated gorillas kicks down your door? You're fucked, dude. Even if you do have your hand on the pistol, dude, you're not gonna be able to let it off enough rounds to kill the gorilla. your murder-suicide fantasies subsided? What? When did I ever have murder-suicide fantasies? Pretty sure 12-gauge semi-auto takes care of the gorilla. Who knows, though? Oh, I know. I know. Your 12-gauge is just going to piss that gorilla off, homie. Let's say you get off 2 fucking rounds. You're just going to pepper that motherfucker. Now, it might, you know, be really hurt by its injuries, but it's just going to go into gorilla beast mode. You're just going to piss it off. You're just going to make it rip you in half quicker. What if Von Helton came up to your house with they piddle? What? Fuck off, man. I'll be right back. What are you digging over there? Come here. Yuck. Your face is all dirty, dude. Why are you rubbing your face in the dirt? Come in here with me. Girls, girls, girls. Do 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 do. You want to smoke in here, or you want to come out here and sit? Okay. Enjoy the sun. Fine, work it down. Go on about your business.
You like the nice leather dinosaur?
He's had his face over there in the dirt for some reason. Such an idiot. Such an idiota.
You like that?
While I was gone, there was a gorilla that passed by. Damn.
Those wild Louisiana gorillas.
Yep. Give us a tour of your house, Paul. No.
It's
That's creepy.
a mess too, so no.
I mean, I don't even care about that. I'd let them see the mess. I just don't like the idea of them knowing the layout of where I live. That's a little...
I never liked when TJ did that. He's like, look at all my stuff. I'm like, stop.
Yeah, it's like, please. Give us a riddle. I don't know a lot of good riddles. That lighter dead.
Yeah.
Shitty.
Denor, why are you such a cute little fuck? Why are you so cute? Why are you so fluffy and cute? Arr, arr. Arr. Oh, don't hit your head. Silly boy. Oh, silly boy.
Did you rather finish that little half a J that's in there? Oh, I'm sorry, Dino. You want to smoke this?
Let's save that for later.
All right. You ready to bust TJ's melon? I don't know if he ordered the bats, but I looked into them last night, and I guess truckers carry those little bats for self-defense and shit. They're spun aluminum with a lead core. It's gonna fucking
A
it's
cantaloupe,
it's
though.
gonna splatter that cantaloupe.
Cantaloupes are so soft.
It's gonna splatter that fucking cantaloupe. It's over.
Stop. Get out of the dirt. Come on.
You guys are basically robbing TJ with that bat. I know. I don't know what he's like. Yeah, dude, it's not the best weapon and shit, but you could fuck somebody up with that. It's a billy club. There's a reason why cops carry those. It's like a baton. You know what I mean? TJ will eat the melon before you can beat it. Oh shit. That might be his plan. Be like, you can't break the melon if it's in my belly.
It's a fruit, so probably not.
Yeah. You got a point there.
It's slightly healthy, so probably not.
Any plans for a P.O. box in the near future? I have some stuff I want to send you guys. I know that the guys have talked about it, but it hasn't happened. When it does, I'll let you guys know. I'll see you have yet to dump Dinor off in the woods like I asked. How disappointing. I mean...
Why would we do that?
Yeah, why would I want to dump little Dinor in the woods?
He would die, like, in 3 days.
He would die if we left him in the backyard overnight. We'd wake up and he'd be dead from some tragic accident.
A rat attack.
He's too dumb for this world. TJ's breeding an indestructible super melon. Maybe so. Dinor's running for state senate. I mean, he could. Paul.
That's intelligent.
Yep. You should put on Sunday shoes and dance around the room to accordion keys with the needles. Okay, all right. Thank you for quoting Aeroplane Over the Sea. The melon will bust with one try. That's probably true, but the fact that that he allowed us 30 seconds, the melon is going to be pulp at the end of the 30 seconds, dude. It's going to be a juicy pile of what used to be a melon.
It's a cantaloupe. Like the softest of the melons.
Pretty soft. I mean, the only thing that that's got going for it is that they don't have much space in the middle, so the flesh of it is pretty thick, but...
That's true.
It's still gonna be pretty quick. Why would TJ make this bet? I don't know. He had like a moment of like, I don't know. I guess probably because TJ's just he doesn't beat, you know, like he's not in the business of beating people up with shit. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't think that like. Because, like, you know, we were talking out here in the backyard after the show, and the argument continued, and Scotty was like, dude, I could bust a melon with my fist. And TJ was like, well, yeah, of course you could, but not with that little bat. And I'm just like, that bat just extends the leverage that you have to swing your arm down. So if you could bring your fist like a hammer down on the top of that melon and break it, if you put a bat in your hand that's got any significant weight to it, it's just going to extend the amount of force that you're applying to the melon. You know what I mean? That's why you can do more damage with that little bat than you could by booping somebody on the head with your fist. I don't know, dude. I don't know. You'll get like 9 good... Oh, dude, you get more than 9 swings in 30 seconds. Like, you'll get like at least 20 good swings in 30 seconds. I could probably swing a little bat like that once every 2 seconds. Like, at the least. Who's going to swing it? Probably Scotty, because he's the one that's got the money bet. Although, I think TJ said he was going to get 2 melons, so we might both do it just to show. You could try and break the bat with the melon. Okay. That shit's gonna bounce around after each hit, though. I mean, we're not just gonna sit it on a fucking roly-poly surface when we hit it. We're gonna secure it with something. We're gonna make sure that it doesn't roll around, because a human head doesn't roll around unless it's lopped off. So we're gonna connect it to some shit, and we're gonna beat it wide open. And that'll be that. It's a Sledge-matic. Make sure TJ doesn't swap it out with a styrofoam bat. Yeah, I'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
I'll be holding the bat after all. That bat versus a... I mean, gorilla beats everything. TJ's gonna fill the melon with lead, so he's gonna melt down a bunch of lead the night before and inject the molten lead into the melon and let it solidify in there. Maybe. I'm gonna test that melon, dude. I'm gonna knock on it. TJ replacing the banana for the bat, you think? We'll see. A gorilla would not beat a grizzly bear. You're fucking stupid. You just don't understand that gorilla beats everything. I mean, there's no such thing as a megalodon anymore, so there's no like my contention is that a gorilla beats up everything on the planet. Any one-on-one gorilla wins against any animal on the planet, and I will defend that to the death. If it still existed, a megalodon might beat a silverback gorilla, but it doesn't. So there's no point in, you know, it's not like you can't do like gorilla versus T-Rex and shit. It doesn't work. The T-Rex had its chance as the apex predator, the baddest ass fucking thing on the planet, and now it's gorilla's turn. A gorilla in every classroom. That would end school shooting. If they got a gorilla, a big old silverback gorilla, and trained it to just love children and hate guns, and put one in every classroom, there would never be another school shooting. I guarantee it. Because that gorilla would fucking go ape shit. Tyler's just like such a licky.
Loves the taste of people.
Yeah, he just loves licking everything, though. He was over there licking fucking dirt. You can see the patch where he was rubbing his fucking mouth all over it. What is wrong with you?
The couch.
Yeah.
Weird.
Grizzly beats gorilla 10 out of 10 times. You're just stupid, man. Like, a grizzly is a fearsome opponent. But the gorilla has smarts and agility. Like, you just don't, you know? And brute bestial strength, you know what I mean? That gorilla just wins outright. You know how they do? They open their mouth all wide, they go in for the bite. Gorilla is gonna grab both sides of that jaw. And yeah, he's gonna get tooth marks all in his hands and shit, but he's just gonna go, and it's over. Fight over. People were like, gorilla versus like a killer whale. Easy peasy. Gorilla is going to swim to the bottom of the ocean. He's going to find a rock. Killer whale is going to come swimming in. Gorilla is going to dodge, plug the killer whale's blowhole. Boom. Dead killer whale. Gorilla wins. There's no such thing as a kraken. Elephant. Fucking easy. An elephant has its biggest weakness dangling on the front of its fucking face. Here's what's gonna happen. Bull elephant, right? Silverback gorilla. Bull elephant waving its ears around, trumpeting and shit. Gorilla just standing there waiting. Bull elephant charges with its tusks out, wanting to run the gorilla over. Gorilla just stands there, waiting, waiting, waiting. At the last minute, gorilla grabs the trunk, goes underneath, like lays on its back and goes underneath the fucking elephant and flips it over on its back. Gorilla wins. You guys just don't understand. There's nothing on the planet. Let me clap to accentuate this point. There's nothing on the planet that can beat a gorilla. Gorilla versus cancer. Okay, cancer's not like, you know, it's not an animal. So, how about a poisonous snake? Like, gorillas agile as fuck. Have you ever looked at the gorillas at the zoo and shit, or seen the fucking footage of them swinging through the trees and shit? They ain't trying to get bit by no snake.
Also, they could probably just step on it or fucking...
Yeah, a gorilla sees a snake, he's just gonna grab it by its head and go like this until it's dead. Throw it over his shoulder and go find something else to fuck up. That's just dumb. A couple of leopards. I mean, they might get a few claws off on a gorilla, but gorilla's just got, it's, you know, it's just as agile. It's way stronger, way smarter. Ebola mosquito. Gorilla's got hair over most of its body. Gorilla, like that mosquito ain't gonna get through that dense gorilla fur to that gorilla skin, which is also tough like iron. Ebola mosquito loses. Here's what happens. Here's how the Ebola mosquito fight goes down. Gorilla wins. There's no such thing as a xenomorph. What about a rhino? Very, very similar to the elephant attack. The only difference is a rhino is lower to the ground, so the gorilla couldn't slide under. So gorilla waits, rhino charges. The last second, gorilla jumps up in the air, grabs the rhino's horn, gets on its back. Now you've got a gorilla riding a rhino. The gorilla just upgraded. Now he's got a rhino mount. Now he's controlling the fucking rhino by its horn, charging around, fucking looking for things to kill. You see what I mean? It's over. I said 1v1, dude. I said 1v1. You can't do gorilla versus the whole army. You can't, you know what I mean? I said one-on-one, gorilla beats up everything in the fucking world. Gorilla versus a bull hippo. I mean, come on, dude. Gorilla just outruns the hippo until his fat ass is tired and beats him to death with a rock. Gorilla wins. Like, come on, dude. See, the redneck doesn't get to, like, because I'm not putting anything on the gorilla to have it beat these other things. You can't say gorilla versus a redneck with a minigun, because I'm not saying gorilla with a laser beam in his eyeballs that burns through anything versus the, you know what I mean? You can't do that. So it would be silverback gorilla versus loudmouth redneck. Do I even need to tell you who wins? It's over. You just said the gorilla used a rock against the hippo? Yeah, because the fight has to take place somewhere. I'm not barring the redneck from grabbing a stick off the ground. If he wants to do that and prolong his suffering and piss the gorilla off more with his impudence, then that's up to him. He wants to pick up a rock and try and throw it at gorilla. I ain't stopping him. I ain't stopping any of the animals from using their natural environment. I'm just saying you can't strap a minigun on the animal and put it against the gorilla alone. It's over. You guys can't beat this. It's just... There's only one thing a gorilla would lose against, and that's a stick. If a stick is broken, it becomes two sticks. Checkmate. Oh, shit. You're right. Except for the fact that the gorilla would turn it into sawdust, and then eat it, and then shit it out. Gorilla versus a broken heart. People love doing this gorilla versus shit every once in a while. Gorilla versus a jellyfish. Gorilla just rends the jellyfish into tiny little blobs and chunks of shit. I mean, like, gorilla don't give a fuck. So if animals can use their natural environment, can we make a wooden sword and kill? Or make dynamite? Yes. If you go toe-to-toe with a silverback gorilla and you've got time to make a stick of dynamite, go ahead. You're not going to last long enough to carve a sword or make a stick of dynamite. Gorilla's going to rip your fucking head off. It's going to be really hard to invent dynamite again out of what's laying on the ground while a gorilla's beating you to death.
Human can hide.
Gorilla can find. Checkmate. I mean, come on, dude. Hey, baby. Are you eating unicorn O's?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
How are they? Good. They match your hair.
Nice and sugary.
Nice and sugary, just like I like some. What if it was an honorable gorilla that let you build what you might need to want him? Gorilla don't know honor. Gorilla only know kill. That's actually an interesting one. How about a gorilla against a hive of African killer bees? Did you miss when I said 1v1, dude? Did you miss when I said 1v1? It would be gorilla versus an African killer bee. And the fight's over. Stop dodging the orca. I already told you how he beats the orca. I already told you how he beats the orca. Gorilla goes to the bottom of the sea and finds a big rock. Orca comes swimming in to bite gorilla. Gorilla swims up and plugs the orca's blowhole. And the orca fucking dies in the water because it can't breathe no more. Dead orca. It's over. What if gorilla has bad anxiety? Gorilla doesn't get anxiety. Gorilla just kill. Stop dodging blue whale. I mean, okay, blue whale. So here comes the blue whale, right? It opens up its big old baleen mouth. Because what can a blue whale do other than try and swallow the gorilla? Let's say it does. Gorilla is now inside of blue whale. What do you think gorilla's gonna do to that blue whale's insides? Can I ask you that question? As he's sliding down all that soft tissue and shit, gorilla is gonna fuck that whale up. And you know what they're gonna find? They're gonna find a dead blue whale floating belly up with a fucking gorilla sitting on it. It's over. I already did the grizzly bear, man. I already did the fucking grizzly. I already told you how gorilla wins. The mama bear would swipe the gorilla's face off. That, like, you assume that a gorilla is not agile enough to dodge a big lumbering fucking swipe from a grizzly bear. You're just dumb. Gorilla is agile. Gorilla can climb trees, swing from tree to tree. Gorilla can grab a rock. He's got, you know, the ability to pick up a tool. You know what I mean? All grizzly's got is... You think gorilla can't fucking run around and dodge that for a while? Come on. Gorilla versus unemployment.
It's a pretty good bear impersonation.
Yeah, dude. You like my bear?
Yeah. Sounded like a
Gorilla versus giant squid. All right, so giant squid, right? Giant squid's got all these tentacles and shit. You know what gorilla sees when he sees an animal that's got all those tentacles? He sees a little fucking flower that he can pluck and pull all the little fucking petals off of. That's right. Giant squid comes, wraps gorilla up. You think it's over. But gorilla grabs one tentacle, just gorilla strength, rips it right out at the root, and the squid just lets go in pain. Doesn't know what to do. Its little squid stump is flopping around and ink is spraying out. And the gorilla uses that moment of confusion to dive right in there, just like he kind of did with the shark. Find that squid beak, you know, that beak they have. Boom. Gorilla wins. Squids feel no pain. They may not feel pain, but they know when they've been bested. They can tell when one of their tentacles is flopping off. Gorilla wins. So does the gorilla have to like never come up for air? You have to understand, when I'm doing these fights, I have to equalize the animals to the best of my ability, okay? Because I could say the same thing to you about the fish or squid or whale that you're talking about. I could be like, well, how are they going to do anything on land with the gorilla? You can't just be like, oh, gorilla can't breathe underwater, ergo, that's how he loses. Because, like, that's true if we put the fucking fish on land. You put a fucking whale in the middle of nowhere, gorilla could just sit there and watch it die. You know what I mean? So you have to equalize things a little bit. You have to assume that gorilla, you know, has a bubble around his head or something. He's got some breathable air. Gorilla versus Rambo. Well, because we already established that Rambo doesn't get any guns, because Gorilla doesn't get any lasers or saw blades or anything, then Rambo loses. It's over. Gorillas lose all dexterity in the water. Their attributes become pointless. Whales lose all ability to do any damage to anything when they're beached. So their attributes are pointless. You guys want to do this, not me. I'm just thinking logically here. Just apply that shit to what you're talking about, man. Gorilla versus robot. Okay, so the most advanced agile robot that's been invented yet right now is probably one of Boston Dynamics robots. I've seen one do a backflip and shit. I also see them slip on a banana peel and be unable to get up. So Gorilla fucking absolutely dismantles a robot. The best robot we got right now. Gorilla just turns it into a pile of useless bullshit. Gorilla versus a two-hump camel. Same thing that happened with the rhino. Camel charges, gorilla jumps up, grabs camel around the neck, you know, grabs those floppy cheeks of the camel and pulls back, and now gorilla's got a mount. Now gorilla's riding around on a fucking camel looking for things to kill. It's over. What? Gorilla versus Michael J. Fox, but his Parkinson's makes him able to dodge anything? What? That doesn't work, dude. Gorilla versus Steven Seagal. What about an actual seagull versus Steven Seagal? That would be a closer fight. I bet the seagull would win. I bet the seagull would come out on top in that fight. Gorilla versus Pauly Shore. What's up, gorilla buddy? Don't harsh my... Gorilla wins. I think you guys have run out of ideas. Finally, I'm not seeing any more like attempts. I think you guys have fucking. You guys have completely fucking acquiesced to the truth of my position. hope you don't unironically think that gorillas actually swing from trees, Paul. I hope you don't unironically think that a gorilla couldn't. I've seen those motherfuckers jumping around their tire swings and climbing ropes and shit. They can fucking move around in the fucking trees if they need to. Non-believers, dude. Gorilla versus psilocybin mushrooms. Gorilla just has a nice trip. Wakes up ready to kill the next day. Gorilla wins. Oh, all right. I guess there's love.